If you drink any of these, listen up because I'm gonna tell you what is the worst option. First, we have a 25-ounce Lime-A-Rita, and then we have a 12-ounce Cutwater Espresso Martini, and then we have a 12-ounce Michelob Ultra. First, you need to know what is in a standard drink. Beer, 12 ounces, 5% ABV. Wine is around 5 ounces, 12% ABV. And for spirits, it's 1.5 ounces, 40% ABV. And then one standard drink equals 14 grams of alcohol. The other thing to note is the ABV. For the Lime-A-Rita, it's 8% ABV, 13% ABV, 4.2% ABV. So we know a Lime-A-Rita isn't one standard drink, but how do we find the amount of standard drinks that are actually in this? Multiply 25, the amount of ounces, by 8% ABV, which gives you 200. You divide that by 60. There's more than 3 standard drinks in just one of these. You're gonna get a little more than 2.5 standard drinks in this tiny thing. A Michelob Ultra is actually a little less than 1 standard drink. But when you're drinking alcohol, the alcohol itself is not the only thing adding stress onto your liver. It's also going to be all of the added sugar. And really, it's specifically the fructose, because sugar is half glucose and half fructose, and fructose is gram for gram as harmful on your liver as alcohol is. So to find the added fructose liver stress in each drink, first I'm gonna start off with the Lime-A-Rita. It actually doesn't tell you anywhere on the label. It's because alcohol is regulated by the TTB and not the FDA. So when you look it up, you'll go and find that it has 44 grams of sugar. If you divide that by 2, you get 22 grams of fructose. You divide that by 14 because one drink equals 14 grams of alcohol, which gives you the standard drinks equivalent with fructose, which is 1.57. This has 32 grams of sugar, gives you 1.14. That is a lot of sugar inside of a tiny can. And you can guess it, Michelob Ultra actually has 0 grams of sugar. So to find the total liver stress, what you're gonna do is add the 3.33 standard drinks of alcohol plus the 1.57 that comes from fructose, which will give you a 4.90 total liver stress, 3.74 in total liver stress. And for an ultra, because we don't have any added sugar, it stays the same, which is less than a standard drink itself. So you could literally drink 5 of these ultras and it would still be less than one of these as far as liver stress. And for the Cutwater Espresso Martini, it would be like drinking 4 ultras. So if you're making the choice to drink, then be smarter about it. Realize what's going inside of your body. It makes you think, what is making me feel so crappy the next day? It's not just dehydration, because why am I waking up reaching for hair of the dog when it's gonna make you more dehydrated? 2 main reasons of why you feel bad the next day. We obviously know it's affecting your liver and adding stress onto your liver, but it's also affecting your brain as well. So we know when you drink alcohol, a decrease in vasopressin happens, which can lead to mild dehydration, and you might be peeing more. But something else happens. When you drink alcohol, through an enzyme called ADH, acetaldehyde is formed, which is actually 20 times more toxic than alcohol itself. So when you're drinking alcohol, you can't really avoid the acetaldehyde that's forming. Then through the enzyme ALDH is converted into a non-toxic substance called acetate, which you essentially just pee out. So when you're drinking more than 1 standard drink per hour, that's a lot of added stress onto your liver. The main reason of why you feel bad is something called GABA rebound. When you drink alcohol, alcohol will bind to your GABA receptors and make you feel relaxed, carefree, and comfortable in the moment. But we all know the next morning you feel quite the opposite. Laying in bed, rotting, you don't feel like getting up. You may have fell asleep, but you woke up in the middle of the night all sweaty and gross. You have a lot of head discomfort, a lot of body discomfort. That is also why the next morning when you start drinking again, it makes you feel better in the moment, but really you're just delaying that rebound. So what do you do so that you can neutralize that acetaldehyde to get it out of your system? You would take the L-cysteine and Cheers Restore, because L-cysteine will bind to the acetaldehyde, forming a non-toxic compound called MTCA, which will effectively lower those acetaldehyde levels. And then when you take the DHM and Cheers Restore, it will bind to the GABA receptors, satiating them, so that you're lowering your rebound the next day. It will also speed up the enzyme activity of ALDH, so you're getting rid of this faster. So with all of this information, it's important if you care about your body, your health, and really you want to make the most out of your days. Cheers Restore is the best option because we've sold over 40 million doses of this. We have over 7,500 5-star reviews, approved by over 1,000 clinicians. Take 3 of these after your last drink or right before bed so that you feel like you had half as many drinks as you actually did the next day. And if you don't, we offer 100% money back guarantee. We're in over 35,000 retail doors nationwide, but for the best deal, I would get it right now in our value pack for around $3 a dose. So make the best decision for yourself, make the most out of your days, and drink smarter. Cheers.